I'm doing the Wikipedia project on artificial photosynthesis. Artificial photosynthesis is basically scientists' attempts at recreating the natural cycle of plant life, which was absorbing sunlight, water, and CO2, and producing carbohydrates and oxygen to provide energy. Now, what scientists are trying to do is, since they are unable to utilize the natural catalyst within the plant life, they're trying to create an external catalyst that can be applied and create the energy that's needed. The assigned task was to find a green Wikipedia topic and find one that's actually in need of substantial work. And then we were to find additional information, provide that information accurately and successfully, and as well as utilize multimedia devices such as videos, pictures, audio, and the like, and just to generally improve Wikipedia as a whole with our information. Now, the topic that I chose was artificial photosynthesis, and I found that was a very obvious green topic to me because it was scientists trying to replicate the natural cycle of plants. And in order to do this, they're going to be basically getting rid of the CO2 emissions that are presently in the atmosphere and kind of basically reverting back to where we were years and years ago before fossil fuels originally did the damage that they had. Now, the original Wikipedia page that I found had a decent amount of information on it. There was research done on 2 specific topics, but the definition I found was that I thought lacking. It was one sentence definition and basically covered the cycle of photosynthesis without including the artificial side of it. It was basically just stating, what plants go through. So I decided when I went to, fix the page, I would actually incorporate the artificial side of it instead of just stating, what photosynthesis is. When it came to the research side of it, I thought 2 approaches was adequate, but to me it seemed like he approached it more of a cell point of view, utilizing photoelectrochemical cells and dye-sensitized solar cells, which are both almost like solar cells in a sense, where they absorb energy from the system instead of utilizing and really claiming that they are incorporating the artificial photosynthesis by using the external catalyst and other objects. The bottom half of the page showed a timeline which I plan on changing or altering and adding to, but there's just so many little things like between dates and everything that I haven't gotten a chance to do that yet. The C also was very weak, I found, because the topic itself, there's so many different branches that can be incorporated into it. You have the reactions between oxygen and the plant life, then you have the reactions between the carbon dioxide and plant life. And there's many things that could be incorporated within the C also that they seem to have left out. And I found that it was necessary to add more to it. The references, he provided 17 sources originally, and in turn I realized that he had enough information to support the topics that he had shown, which was the two cells, and I decided that those were fine. There was nothing really to add to that except for if I decided to add any information of my own, which I ended up doing. I added two topics, which I'll touch on later, and I provided 6 to 7 sources on references on that. Also, he provided one external link, and that external link was to an Australian website, we could say university, which provides a brief rundown of photosynthesis, and it provides an image and a few things. But I thought that to get a really good feel of it and to hear some experts speak on it, it'd be more beneficial to hear somebody speaking to you than reading something yourself. So I found 2 videos that I intended to put on and figure out how to link to Wikipedia. This is the page that I had worked on after all of my edits. You can see that the definition is actually a lot lengthier. I provided information on the actual process itself, in which the overall reaction is taking place, where the water molecules separate to produce the hydrogen ions and the oxygen ions, and they react with the catalyst, the external catalyst that's produced by whichever university or whichever company or the researchers in general to produce energy in the form of carbohydrates and oxygen. Also, I found a research topic about the NADP plus and the NADPH coenzyme, which is another type of catalyst that was developed, which incorporates a few things which I'll touch on later. But also, when it came to the advantages, it was the advantages in general of the artificial photosynthesis. So I included in the advantages that it's a renewable, neutral or carbon neutral source of energy that is not damaging to the environment, and is utilizing the harm that we've actually done to ourselves to our advantage. Also, in the disadvantages section, I added another line for the cost that the reason why that they haven't gone this route yet is because the cost to change everything over would be exponential, and would just keep growing and growing as new things were being produced. Unless they decided to switch out, everything from the get-go, it would just be a constant uphill battle. Right here is where I included the coenzyme part of the article, and I included the definition of what it does, the actual theory behind it, and the process and the general research group that helped bring it to fruition. Below that, I decided to add the global impact of such an idea. I found that they stated what it was and what it did, but they didn't say how it could be helpful, what can it actually do for us, to give us an idea of what benefits it will really provide. So in the impact, I stated that it will basically replace, if brought to fruition, like I said, it will basically replace the coal burning power plants, the gas, the fossil fuels, and provide us with a source of energy that is almost constant with supplying water and sunlight and carbon dioxide. They plan on being able to sustain vehicles, sustain homes with the energy source, with the artificial photosynthesis source, and help us utilize that in a way that will reduce the energy costs of everything and make everything a lot safer.